Welcome to the Daily HiFi Podcast. We do this every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. My name is Chana. With me, as always, we've got Mr. Joe and Talon, Mr. Aaron.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm like,
he don't know my last name.
Of course I do. It's saved in my phone.
What's up, fellas?
What's up to the folks in the chat also? They're also here.
They are also here.
Yeah.
They are.
I'm going to say hello, chat.
There. We see one of our after show crew members.
What up?
What's up, Michael?
Michael, Victor,
how you doing? Yeah.
Wendell's in the house. Some guy named Aaron's Audio Corner's in the house. Who's that guy? He's in the chat.
Can you having the time of your life?
All right.
Want to get demonetized because I sound just like it.
You will.
Just because I sound just like it.
You do.
Man, I'm sweating over here. I ain't even got no pants on.
Is that how your subscribers are blowing up?
That's exactly. This is exactly what I was going to say.
Patreon that we don't know about.
Yes,
higher tier.
It's all Patreon, man.
It's the no pants party tier.
Oh wow,
that makes sense. Now it all makes sense.
How you guys doing? You guys feeling good?
I'm good. How are y'all?
I'm a little tired. I pulled all nighter. I made that video.
That was a good video, man.
Thank you. The Zadu UHD 8000, and then I spent. I was messing around calibrating some video stuff, and then I woke up this morning. I got to do a calibration for somebody, audio calibration. So that was always cool. Yeah, that's it. So I'm a little lacking in sleep, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, we'll wake you up.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm totally feeling that too. And this the last week has been actually pretty crazy. So it was like a roller coaster of emotions, like whole lot of cool shit, whole lot of like bad shit, just all kinds of shit happening. But you know what? I'm here, and I got a smile on my face, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Here for whatever.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm down. Let's do it. What are we doing?
What do you guys want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about? Is there any?
I got one.
Tell me.
I went to Car Audio. They call it World Finals, but it was a competition in Birmingham, Alabama last weekend. And
that's the World Finals.
Yeah, it's like
everywhere
it's so weird,
from around the world goes to Alabama.
Yeah,
is that what you're telling me?
People from Chicago, some people from Iowa. The world,
the entire world.
But it was cool, man. There was like 80 something cars there competing, and I got to hear like 12 or so. And it was just neat. It would be like all of us getting together and just hanging out and talking trash, and then taking turns listening to each other's systems. It was just fun. That was a good time.
You hear any awesome systems? Has there been any change in the car audio space that like really this new processing thing that makes it sound like
so I've got a friend who's working or worked on, and he's still continually working on it. It's a special processor for 2-seat listening. And the thing about 2-seat listening in a car is that, like, so you can imagine when you're at home and you're sitting in the center seat, you don't have to time delay left versus right. You don't have to EQ left versus right. Everything's pretty symmetrical. But in a car, when you're sitting in the driver's seat, now you're closer to the left side. So you got to delay the left. You got to attenuate the left. And you basically got to do a bunch of stuff to make the left side sound the same as the right side. And then that way you get like this perfect stereo center image, right? Like, so you got to do a lot of work to get that center image. But the issue is that when you do that for the driver's seat, then the passenger seat goes to crap. So you can sit there and tonally it may sound all right, but there's no imaging at all, and the center is just floating all over the place. So my friend's got a processor that will do upmixing. So it'll take stereo in and do multi-channel out, and it works quite well. I got to hear a couple cars with that implemented in it, so that was kind of cool.
That's cool, man. You know what? I don't like imaging in vehicles. Like it's so annoying. Like
Why?
In the van, right?
Mm-hmm.
So of course I'm off center.
van.
I'm off center, right? I'm the driver. The left is close. The right one is far. But then I have a center also that's supposed to kind of help, right?
Yeah.
Where's the center image supposed to be? Because in stereo, I know where it's supposed to be, like right.
It's supposed to be right in front of you. Yeah,
Boom,
but you
right
don't
here.
get that in a car. In a car, it's pretty much the center of the car. It's at the dash, the center of the dash. So you're looking to the right when you're in the driver's seat. Yeah.
I want it to sound as if like my left speaker is like over here.
It's like way
And
out.
Yeah,
you can't do
that. I
that.
don't want to sound like it. That's what I want.
You can't do that. It's impossible.
And you want the center to be like coming right at you? Is that it?
Like right in front of you. That's what most people will do when they get into car audios. They think the center is supposed to be in front of them like a home stereo, but it's not, because what happens is if you try to delay the left, you can delay it as much as you want, but you're always going to wind up with the soundstage on the left side being like squished in. So like if you're the driver here and this is the left pillar, everything is going to be squished, and then the right side is going to sound huge over here.
I hate it. I hate that. I hate the imaging not being like in.
What is that one car where it has the drivers in the center?
Oh, like a McLaren?
Yeah. Yes. There, Joe. That's all you need. Just get a McLaren.
Or you can do like some of these car audio guys. There was 3, maybe more than that, cars there that are dedicated car audio systems, like straight up trailer queens. Like they bring them in on a trailer, they roll them off the trailer.
Trailer queens.
Yeah, trailer, not trailer.
Sounds questionable.
Trailer queens. You're questionable.
So like
but they're purposely built 1-seat vehicles, like with the center seat and the speakers. I mean, like,
now I'm getting silly though. To me, that's getting silly, because now it's like that's like to the point of like that's not realistic.
It's not a car, right?
Yeah.
We're getting. That's like when they started doing the SPL competitions, and like all the things were like I don't know, it didn't even look like a car inside. It just looked like a room, Yeah,
it's like concrete reinforced
fortified
siding. Yeah. Did you say porta potty?
I said fortified, and I don't think I've ever used that. It just looks, I don't know, it looks all crazy. Like that's in a window. Like, what's the rule? You got to be able to see through the window.
Oh, I don't know, man.
But I have a tune for car audio where it's just for me, right? And it makes the imaging like kind of central. But now my sound stage is like this wide. It's from this speaker and to the center speaker almost.
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's all I get. I'm like,
But that's what a lot of car manufacturers are going after now. They're going for, I don't remember what they call it now, but it's basically like zoned listening. So each listener or each position will have its own stereo image.
Oh, that's crazy.
And there's all sorts of cancellation from other speakers. So if you're the driver, there's other stuff that will cancel out other speakers. So all you hear is like the center image, or not center image. You hear left and right kind of bounded between the left pillar and the center of the car. So the center is in front of you. And then the passenger seat has their own stereo image. It doesn't span the entire width of the car, but I don't understand it. I just know that that's kind of what they use, is some kind of special technology where they can essentially cancel out other sounds that are going to different places. It's wild, dude.
I got a solution. For car audio. Everybody wears like headphones with that transparency mode.
Yeah.
Right. So then you could talk to each other, but then everybody has a perfect stereo image.
That works.
The end.
I think that's
there. You go. Porta potty trailer queen, only in Alabama.
Maybe not only, but in one of the places, yes.
Hey,
I would think Mississippi and Georgia would probably be up there too.
You recently reviewed the that Kef speaker that you seem to really like.
Yeah, that concerto is a really good speaker.
Do you really like them, or do you just like to say concerto?
Concerto.
I feel like you really enjoy saying that.
I watched somebody else's video before I did mine because I wanted to see like what they said about the specs and stuff, because I didn't want to read the manufacturer's manual. So I was like, I'll just watch somebody who regurgitates it. And dude kept saying concerto. And I was like, man, you can't say it like that.
You can't trust now. You can't trust the specs now.
No,
if you definitely concerto, then it's like that's concerning.
That's
exactly. My joke for the day.
Yeah, I don't like it.
You do like it, huh? Even though the on-axis response is not perfect, we're starting to learn, right? We're learning now because you're saying like stronger and stronger. It seems like that part of you is like getting more and more convinced. It's all about fortified, yeah,
Fortified.
like you took your vitamins.
Yes.
Right. And you feel very strongly now that you really want to optimize for that in-room response, estimated in-room response, I guess.
Yes.
You feel strongly about that.
I have felt strongly about that for a couple years now, and I feel even more strongly about it when I see manufacturers when I see a manufacturer like Kef targeting that kind of response and shaping the on-axis response to achieve an in-room response. That just gives me more, I don't know, fortification. Let's keep
you know what's kind of interesting is like you're engineer type, right? Like you want to make sure that what you say is very correct. And I figured out what my part is, right? I'm like one of those testers that tries to break everything.
Do it, man.
Well, like I'm trying to figure out what are the limits, right? So if that is the thing, is estimated in-room response is the thing, right? So at what point, how bad can I make on axis? And
I don't know.
See, like there's gonna be a point, I think.
Yeah, there's
where
gonna
on
be a
axis
breaking
is too
point.
bad. Like it's just too bad, and you're just too annoyed by that sound somehow.
Yeah, I would think that they would have to be somewhat linear. I just think that the degree of shelving is going to make the difference. But
see, I feel very strongly, my opinion, I feel very strongly that it's the directivity index because that's what I see as the pattern. Like I haven't seen one yet where like I love it and the directivity is horrible. I haven't seen that part yet.
Yeah. I think there's overlap there in what we're talking about too.
I think so.
Yeah.
But you're saying estimated in-room, and I'm just I can't imagine that the on-axis could be so bad and still be like, still good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you know why I say that? Because isn't the when I'm saying the in-room response, that's the combined on-axis and reflections, right? But that's what
the in-room is listening window and reflections and some sound power.
Reflections. Thank you.
It's a breakdown. I can't remember what the percentages are, but it's a little bit of everything.
For simplicity, let's just say it's the combination of like what's coming directly at you and being reflected.
And the first primary reflections. That makes up the majority of it.
Okay. So the reason why I don't think that it's just that, and I think it has a lot to do with directivity, isn't that what most of the room correction software is trying to do, is trying to target some sort of in-room response regardless of the directivity?
Yeah. But the thing about the software, like the automatic room EQ, is that the targets are kind of generic, right? And somebody came up with one, and then everybody else was like, oh, this is what we're supposed to use. But it's not based on the speaker's performance. The speaker itself should be evaluated. Like you wouldn't take let's say you wouldn't take a speaker that's a full range 4-inch driver only, because it's going to start beaming like crazy. And you wouldn't try to, okay, let me back up. You take a 4-inch full range driver, it's going to start beaming like crazy, and its in-room response is going to tilt down quickly, right? Because there's not going to be a lot of reflection off the sidewall. So it's not going to kick up. It's going to go down pretty rapidly. And if you try to take that and make it match to a curve that is kind of more flat, then you're going to be boosting all these high frequencies for no reason. So that's not the speaker you want for that target curve, basically. Like you should get a different speaker. If you are certain that that's the curve that you want, you should get a different speaker. And I don't even think that that's the way to go about it. But
okay, I get what you're saying, that the speaker characteristics determine maybe the slope of that in-room response.
Right.
And then the question that I had for you, I don't know if we answered it or if you answered it, was what is the optimal in-room response then? If it's,
I don't know,
is it based on the speaker?
Yeah. So a lot of people will say that they want like 0.1 decibel per octave deviation, not deviation. What's the word I'm looking for here? Like trend, right? As you go from, let's say 200 hertz to 20 kilohertz, right? So you want it to start leaning down, 0.1 dB per octave or 0.2 dB per octave or something like that. It just varies on who you talk to.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I think last time I mentioned we had an omnidirectional speaker, right? That was somehow like perfectly flat on axis. The sound power was also flat all around it, and that the directivity index would be flat. And then the question would be, everybody says like, oh, you don't want a flat response at the main listening position.
Right.
But maybe for that speaker you would.
You
For
might.
the characteristics of that speaker, maybe that would still sound correct. I don't know. I don't have that speaker. But I was kind of thinking earlier about what an ideal speaker might look like. Something totally different. Because you mentioned the Bayo Lab, Bang & Olufsen.
Oh yeah.
Is that like his idea that you can change the dispersion characteristics of it?
Yeah, you can change the directivity profile. Yeah, by changing the dispersion, right? So it can go from, I think, omni to something more narrow.
Okay, so that speaker, if it was flat all around and directly, which
True omnidirectional.
I probably is not, right? Just guessing.
Yeah, probably not.
But imagine a speaker. This is, to me, what a hypothetically perfect speaker or better speaker than what we have is like a speaker that has those characteristics, but then had like metadata that would change the directivity based on the song, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know, very directional. It would like become very directional, and then wide, and then omni, right?
Yeah, like if you're listening to like classical music or orchestral music, then maybe you would want it like really wide or something like that.
Yeah, but until then, so I've been really into this like video stuff, and they talk about dynamic tone mapping versus static. So I think maybe the first step towards a speaker like that would be something that has a static, like where you say you like 60 degrees, right? You want a 60 for your space. I wonder if there was a thing like a knob that you could like just change it, like just start turning it up, like starts at like 10 degrees and starts turning it up.
Yeah, I mean,
wider and wider and wider.
I don't know how that thing works, but I think that's essentially what it does. It just changes the dispersion.
You got to get something.
Like, I know it, man. They've got another one that's cheaper. I still want to say they're probably like 15, 20 grand or something like that, maybe even more. And they look like shades. It's a big tall column. If I have a minute, I'll just search for it. And it looks like shades, and it's a motorized function. So they'll open up.
Are you serious?
No. Yeah. They'll open up. You gonna look for it, or you want me to?
Go.
I'll look for it while you're
okay. Okay, how about this then? How about those? Now we're super nerding out. Sorry, everybody, but
everybody's like,
when Aaron's here, I got to take advantage. You see what I'm saying?
You gotta take advantage of Aaron.
Take advantage of me. I'll let you. It'll be all right.
Okay, check this out. The cardioid pattern speakers, like the Dutch and Dutch 8C, right?
Yeah.
What would happen if you put them like back to back? Something kind of like that.
Yeah.
I wonder what would happen if you just turn them back to back and then just listen to that one. Would you like the way that sounds, or would you hate it?
I don't know, man.
Back to back.
Yeah, because isn't the polar, like the pattern of it is kind of
yeah, it's only omnidirectional up until like 150 or so, and then it starts trending to just front firing essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you put them back to back, you'd have a true dipole. I mean, in theory, you'd have a true dipole down to about let's just say 150, and it'd be monopole from there. Very interesting.
Somebody got to do these experiments. Somebody's got to do experiments like that.
Yeah, somebody's got to try that. That would be fun. All right, let me.
Okay, here's a little bit of a rant. Okay, a little bit of a rant. Sometimes I see other content creators, other YouTubers, who are starting to do more measurements, which is good, right? I think that's good. Or they're kind of doing type of like A/B type testing, but sometimes their methodology is just very flawed. It makes me wonder, like, did you guys learn the scientific method in school, or did you go to some of the kind of like Catholic school or something where they don't teach that sort of stuff?
Yeah, you know, what's wrong with Catholic school and measure?
Everybody who went to Catholic school in the chat is going to be mad.
Yeah. Well,
I know what you mean. Though.
Ask me, did they learn about like planets and stuff like that, or did they not?
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Did they learn that the Earth was round in these?
I'm just saying.
Is that what you're talking about?
Sometimes it annoys me when I see some content creators, doesn't even have to be an audio, but when they start doing tests that are highly flawed, and so they're getting even more confident that the results are, what they think it is based on the test, and it's like
what it's going to be.
Your method is very flawed. I know my methods are not perfect, right? Aaron's more, you're more meticulous about things being well controlled. Like it's all about the control and controlling the variables. I'm a little bit more like, this is good enough. I'll give you an idea, right?
Oh.
But at least they're not like seriously flawed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a big mistake.
Right. I will say that I paid attention to Jay's Yagi. I didn't watch his review of the Arendelle Towers because no offense, Jay, that's 40 minutes, man. China gets onto me for 20-minute videos. I can't watch a 40-minute video. But
finally,
finally,
somebody like understands. You understand my frustration, Aaron.
I get it, man. I was just like, oof, that's a lot. And plus, if it's something I really care about, I'm going to try to get my hands on it myself. But anyway, so I did watch his portion, or I saw where he had done testing, and I saw part of the live stream.
Crazy.
Well, I think it's he did a good job. I'll just say that. I think Jay probably did a better job than the majority of people who try to take measurements have in the past. And that was like, as far as I know, that's probably his first set of measurements posted in a review. So if this gets back to him, good job, Jay. I was really impressed by the time.
Good try, huh? Good effort.
Good try. Yeah.
Good
no,
effort.
that makes it sound like he didn't get it, but he did a really good job.
Yeah. What are we trying to say here?
Did he do? I didn't watch it.
He did. He did a quasi-anechoic measurement outside. He put the speaker up like on a block and then got a quasi-anechoic. And then from what I could tell, it sounded like he said that he took a measurement of each of the drivers and then the port, and then he summed them together like you're supposed to when you don't do a full far-field anechoic measurement. He did a good job.
Yeah, because I see a lot of other, a lot of other people who kind of just started putting measurements, which is, I think, good in a sense.
Yeah.
It's good in the sense that they're at least going that direction, right?
Yeah.
The problem is like when all they show is like a in-room measurement, I'm like, that doesn't really tell me anything except the problems with your room, maybe.
Yeah.
I can see what the issues are with your room, or they're highly smooth to make them look good.
Oh,
It's
not helpful. Well, I mean, Andrew Robinson, nothing against the guy, but his measurements that he posts look incredibly smooth, and they're all in room. So I think that it maybe goes toward him explaining kind of what he heard, but it's not a way to evaluate the speaker for other rooms, right? Like with full anechoic data, I can take that data and I can predict how it's going to sound in different people's rooms. But if you give me your in-room measurement, that's the measurement from your room, right? So that doesn't really help me a lot.
Yeah. Well, you think you're better than everybody with your Clipple?
Yes. 100%. That's what he said.
Pretty much. Except for Jay, because Jay did a great job. And then Ron does a really good job at measuring. Speaking, I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously, like you got like James Larson. He goes out of his way to do really good measurements.
We met that guy.
Danny Ritchie does measurements.
Yeah.
We met James Larson at a RBH room in Exponent. Remember?
Yeah, James.
Yeah.
So I used to do measurements a long time ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I probably one of the first. I'm not saying the first or anything like that, but pretty early on, I was taking some measurements with the U mic and posting those, right?
Yeah.
I can say those measurements now, like looking at them, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah,
like, I get it. Like those stupid measurements. Those are the dumb measurements. I hate them.
I'm the same way about your measurements. I mean, I'm the same way about. No, I'll come across every once in a while like one of my old driver measurements from like 2010, and I'm like, good Lord, that was terrible. Like I wasn't flush mounting drivers and just all sorts of stuff, and I'm just like, that's stupid.
So I guess I can say, all you can do is try and improve, right? So we're trying, and if there's an issue, make it better. So I think it's a step in the right direction. But speaking of that guy, it's funny because there was some guy, another YouTube guy, who was complaining about a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh yeah,
Did you see that? This is some drama stuff. Doesn't really matter. I think
Drama
it's
stuff. What
Oh,
are
you
you
have to link
talking
me.
about now?
Don't name names, but don't send it to me in the private chat. I'm curious.
DSP drama, bro. Didn't you ever
DSP drama?
DSP drama? You never heard of DSP drama?
No, man.
that's
This
the
is
guy's name?
awesome.
People are hot about this. No, so I
I
guess
try to stay in my own lane. So that's awesome.
Jay, I don't know, something. This guy was talking about a speaker that he had measured, like some Soundcore one, a Bluetooth speaker, where it's a Bluetooth speaker. You know, they're using dynamic DSP.
Yeah, for sure.
So he took a measurement of it, and this other YouTube guy who does like Bluetooth speakers said, like, what volume were you at when you measured that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it changes dynamically. And he's like, the other guy's like, and that guy Jay was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I measured it 85 dB, and the guy's like, it changes depending on. And then it was kind of a weird back and forth, but the guy was right though. The Bluetooth speakers for sure will change their profile.
Absolutely.
Dynamically.
They're the worst for doing that. And they're the hardest to measure.
Yeah.
For that reason.
So the guy was right, but it was just kind of a weird, like, he posted like the conversation back and forth, and it was just a little bit weird, just watching it, and you're like, you kind of, it just feels like awkward, but you kind of watch
like a car wreck. You're like driving by, like,
what did he say?
Exactly.
But
all right, hold on. Let me pull up that video real
Okay.
fast. So look at the center image. I'll see if I can blow this up some more. Give me a second. We'll go back up.
What are you looking for? The
See,
Bail
all right, look in the center. See how that's expanding? So that's tailoring the sound field, right? So it's narrow and now
narrow to wide.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool, man.
Adaptive sound. Make the moment yours with Baolab 28's adaptable directional sound. For one-on-one sessions with your favorite artists, you can narrow the wood covers to create the ultimate listening sweet spot for movie nights or dinner parties. Open wide. You hear that, Aaron? Open wide.
Open wide.
That thing will match your room. I have a fan that looks almost exactly like that.
There you go.
It rotates too. Would that be a thing? If it like the guy with the horn, like doo, doo.
Oh yeah,
like an oscillating speaker.
Yes,
for the music.
Oh man,
if it oscillates though, you have to do what everybody does in front of a fan. You have to go, Luke, I am your father, even if it doesn't have an effect.
That's not what I do. Is that what you do?
What do you? I don't even want to know what you do.
I go Transformers, robots in disguise.
I've never heard of anybody doing that.
It's always been the Luke.
All right, I'll take that.
All right.
Yeah. And then naturally, some Star Wars nerd is going to be watching this. They're going to be like, that's not what he actually said, right? Like, yes, I know, but that didn't stop me when I was 5 from getting it wrong.
Whatever you say, Bernstein Bear.
Exactly. So anyway, if I really would like to get a pair of those speakers sometime to review.
How about
I don't know who to ask.
The Bang & Olufsen's? I know a guy.
Well, send them my way, man, or send me their contact infos. I don't even know who to contact there. I know
you contact Jill, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me know.
Okay. Afterwards. How about How about the Borison?
Yeah.
Borison.
Are you like is that like a kind of? I just said the name. I didn't say anything about. I just said that Borison.
What about it?
I don't know what's secret. I don't know what's. I don't know what's under. Something.
NDA?
Yeah.
I've already blown one of those in the last month. Let's not do another one of those.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
they're actually on loan from the owner. So the guy bought them at Axpona, but he he reached out and said, I've got these speakers and I'm going to get the MoFi SourcePoint 888s and I've got to go down to Florida to get them. He's coming from Chicago. So he said, I can bring these to you. Or actually, I think I initially said I could try to meet you somewhere. And then he was like, I can just bring them to you. So he dropped them off on Friday night, him and a friend. And
speaker delivery.
Yeah. I was like,
that guy must be a baller, right? Because those are some expensive speakers. My question
those
is
are $11,000 a pair, but they do have some that are like $100,000 a pair, which
did he use the credit card though that you were talking about last time?
I hope he did.
Yeah.
I hope he did that to buy even more stuff.
Could get some frequent flyer miles.
Frequent flyer miles. Yeah, I mean, listen, when you're dead, That's it. They ain't gonna come. They can't come to your grave and get your money.
Yeah,
Just
it's not
put on a credit card and enjoy it. Dodge them for a long time. Just what you need to do is make sure your house is paid off, right? Or pay it with your credit card if you can do that. I don't think we can do that, but maybe
it's
you
not
try.
like a student loan, right? It's not a student loan. It's just a credit card. Just
It's not the IRS.
come on. Oh man! So you got those in. Achana and I, we got a chance to listen to those for a long time, right?
What y'all think?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Super high end one.
They were a $50,000 pair, and they look cool. They sound cool. They even had like the ports on the back were like exhaust pipes on a Lambo. Like there was like carbon fiber on the sides and
oh yeah.
Doesn't yours have that kind of exhaust looking vibe?
I think so.
The X3s, I don't think that they do.
They looked a little exhausted.
I think they're a little bit more tame because I know which one you guys are talking about. I think these they might, but I don't think that they do. I'll Google real fast. They're more budget oriented brand, and I'm saying budget. They're 11,000 a pair, but I think they're more budget oriented.
Tell me your true impressions of those Borisons that we heard. Because we heard both pairs. We listened for a good while. How long were we there? We were partying.
Oh my God, we were there for hours.
Right?
I was dancing around. They finally played some EDM. Yeah.
And so we were sitting with those dudes. Remember we were sitting with the dudes?
Oh man, those old dudes. They were hilarious, dude. They're all dancing to the hip hop and moving around and shit. Oh,
they were very high too. So it was fun.
Very what?
Very high.
Yes.
They're very high and having a great time. And so they were just taking turns listening to the different songs, right? So we were there hanging out. What was your impression overall of the speakers?
You're asking Aaron.
I'm asking you, bro.
I gotta be asking you because I didn't hear those.
The 50,000. They had two separate pairs, right? Two separate sets. The cheaper one didn't sound as good. But then they also said it was because of the songs that they were playing. I'm like, I don't know about that one. But if you were to walk in, the first set is the one I didn't like. The second set, which were the $50,000 pair, that one I actually liked. I first initially heard it during the day, and he was playing some like smooth jazz. I'm like, oh, I don't know. But once we got into the after part, I asked him, yo, man, can you play some Daft Punk or something? He's like, come after 6 o'clock. I'm like, okay, well, this sounds pretty shady, but okay, I'm coming after 6 o'clock. And I was thoroughly impressed. And yeah, dude, they sound great. So they know what they're doing over there. Not only does it sound good, but it looks great. Oh,
all right. So I'm gonna have to be the guy who, I'm hard on speakers that are mad expensive. Yeah, as I should be, right? The more expensive, the more critical I'm gonna be. It's like if they sound okay, they should sound okay. Freaking 50 G's, like they better give me
extra. Better sound really good. Yeah,
they better give me a blowjob. I mean, shit.
Looks wise, that's what the ports are for.
That's what the ports are for. Yeah. Oh, never mind. Sorry. I missed that.
So, right? Remember the first one? They were bumping them super loud, and then you're like, "Come here, bro. Check this out. Come here. Listen to these close."
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that was that other pair like in the front. I'm like, yo, dude, you hear this shit? It was like popping or some shit. It was like bah, bah, bah. I'm like, hey man, you might want to turn this down.
Yeah, because we were worried. Like, they had to. It was like it wasn't like the end of the show. So if they blew the speaker, that would be bad news, right? So I told the dude who was controlling, I'm like, hey, bro, I think that thing is reaching its limits over there, right? And he walked over or something. Yeah, it was a part of the song. It was one of the woofers, right? They had an array of woofers, small woofers though. They weren't super big. And so the guy came over, and for some reason on that part of the song, it wasn't doing it. And he's like,
yeah, right.
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear it.
He went back. He just went back and continued playing it, didn't turn it down. I'm like, all right, dude.
Whatever.
They were like, you don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, I thought they sounded all right. I thought the room was huge. It was like, it's almost cheating when the room is so huge that you're not getting any sidewall reflections. So the directivity could be like, who knows? Who knows? Because I'm not hearing any issues from the sidewalls. So that helped a lot. They had a huge room. Gigantic room. But anyway, we'll see. I'm excited to see what happens with the measurements.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really curious to see how they sound, because I heard a pair of, and I don't know which model it was, but I heard a pair at the Florida Audio Expo last year, not the one this year, but last year. And I remember thinking that they sounded fine because they were in a hotel room, and that they had a really deep sound stage, but they were also like 6 feet off the wall, you know? So I'm like, well, that probably has something to do with it.
Same thing with these other ones. So here's a question. Do you ever feel like, I don't know if it's bad, but you're going to take objective measurements of these speakers. They're extremely expensive. And maybe somebody who's looking to buy those just likes the way they look. They're not really into measurements, although they may watch some videos here and there. But if the measurements for some reason come out terrible, which I don't think they will, realistically, like to the point where like it could be like bad for business, right? Like you're not out here trying to like destroy companies. I know that.
No, I typically.
I mean, maybe one or two.
Well, I mean,
they do that to themselves, bro.
I generally want speakers to perform well, because then that's one other thing that people can look at as an option. You know, like I think the more that they're good, the more good speakers we have, the better. I don't want them to suck, and when they suck, it's like, ugh.
Sometimes though, sometimes some speakers, not saying the Borisons, because I don't think it's true for them, but there's some like really expensive speakers that I would like, if they went away, I wouldn't mind so much, because I feel like they're popular enough that they almost like make things worse. You know what I mean? Like they're moving it in a bad direction because
I know what you're saying.
Horrible sounding, and people are still kind of popular, and it's just like those are not good speakers. But I guess my question was more like, how do you feel if you were to put out a review and it did affect the bottom line, and all you're doing is showing what the measurements are, right?
Yeah,
and kind of translating what you see. So I'm just wondering if that's a thought for you, because sometimes I'm rooting against those speakers. Some speakers that are so expensive, I'm like, I hope they measure like crap.
I hope these things sound like junk, and I hope the data backs it up. Yeah,
those are the funnest ones. Those are the videos I like the most when I watch, and you're like disgusted by the way something
like actually aggravated that they're so bad. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah,
I don't like these.
I
just don't like them. Don't buy them.
I hope they sound good, and I hope the measurements back up whatever I hear either way. But I generally hope that speakers perform well.
Maybe you have to start doing something like when you show the measurements, you have to say like, you know, like when for legal purposes, allegedly.
Yeah, my opinion. Allegedly, these measurements.
No. You read the specs off the manufacturer's website, so they are alleging a 30 hertz. You know,
but what I got
extension.
Yeah,
or maybe like you have to say my findings in my measurements, not saying that these are the fact, right? Because it's possible that the clip something could happen to the mic. It's possible.
Sure, anything's possible. Yeah.
So in the measurements that I took, it's kind of like just covering like, I'm not saying that this is for sure what the measurements are, but using this methodology, this is what happened. Right. If you have a better one, you can go and do your measurement then.
Yeah, I would say that if I didn't have confidence in them, I wouldn't post them though. If I didn't feel very confident that the measurements were accurate, I wouldn't post them. And then that's usually when I will go through the extra steps to actually take it outside and do a quasi-anechoic measurement just to make sure that things check out.
Yeah. So if I wanted to measure these RVHs that are over here,
yeah,
what would be the best route to do so?
Send them to me. That would be the easiest thing for you to do. You've got a friend who does this stuff.
Clearly, why did you wait? Do you not have dude's email?
I probably do. I think actually I got his phone number, but I'm just saying. For you, the easiest thing to do would be to send them to me. That would save you a lot of time. No, I mean,
I have a microphone.
No, if you're serious, Joe can help you, but there's a good link that I can send you too.
He's gonna make you do some
measurement.
crazy. First of all, you're gonna have to take that outside, right?
Take it outside, dude. It's
You're
cold.
probably gonna have to
Actually,
put
it's
up
hot
some sort
out
of
here.
freaking ladder or some sort.
Yeah, I'll send you a James Larson video review or one of my old reviews.
All things that you will not do. I guarantee you, he's not gonna do any of those things.
He's gonna be like, nope, ain't worth it.
Yeah, you can tell him right now all the things he's not gonna do.
Yeah,
probably not. But I mean, they sounded great for the price.
Yeah. Normally, that's not a good sign when somebody says for the price.
Well, at $1,300,
yeah, no,
compared to everything we saw at Expona, like $1,300 was just
for sure. I just know that when I've said stuff like that in my reviews, there's always people in the comments like, "Well, for the price, that must mean it's garbage." Or if you have to say for the price, then I don't want it. It's like, yeah, but everything's like
relative, right?
Yeah. And so the Kefs, since we're being asked,
I mean, oh hey, look, you just the new ELACs, right?
Yeah,
they sound great, and at that price, isn't it like pretty damn good? Like, does that mean they're garbage?
For $450, they're a good speaker. I'd be happy with that if I had a higher budget and I just didn't want to spend it. Nah, I'd spend more money and get something like their DBR 62 or something like that for a few $100 more.
I mean, I think all of us here are pretty good looking dudes for audio reviewers.
Yeah, I think we're not hideous.
Like for the price. Yeah, you're a good looking dude for an audio reviewer.
For an audio reviewer.
You know what I mean?
For an audio
compared to everything outside audio, forget about it.
Yeah, we're not Instagram models for sure. But in the audio world, we're doing all right.
I don't know, maybe.
Well, you could be. You just have a natural glow about you.
Martin Mares, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
$50 super chat. And he asked, another great chat, guys. Aaron, are the Kef Concerto Meta worth the money upgrade from the RSL TG25 for my left and right, the front stage? My name is
Kef is an Italian. It is not an
man. What are you doing?
What is Concerto
company?
What's
British company?
Is that a British thing?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I think you might be right.
Concerto.
Are they Italian? No way.
What is Concerto?
Oh no.
What is Concerto?
From our home in the UK. Kef is British, dude. I thought.
Yeah, but what is Concerto?
Right,
that sounds like an Italian word to me.
Concerto is definitely. I mean, it's concerto that goes back to the classical music.
Okay,
right. Etymology of concerto. Concerto, composition for two or more solo instruments, or blah blah blah. Where's the etymology portion of it?
It's just the model number.
Oh, okay. Wow, it was used. It started in 1800, but it reached its peak use in about 1950, and then it started trending back down, and it's low again. Etymon line. I can't
look. Opera singer here. Concerto is a word given to a classical composition, typically for symphony orchestra with a featured soloist.
Oh, Luke, you wouldn't know what you're talking about. You wouldn't know concerto if it hit you.
That sounds pretty official.
Yeah. If it hit you in the face, you would not know a concerto. I speak in the British.
Hey,
what are you talking about, man?
The Sonus Faber guys are not going to like that.
No.
No, I was thinking like Mario and Luigi would not like that.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So I can answer this question. Yes, it's definitely worth the upgrade because I don't have personal experience with that speaker, but Amir at Audio Science Review has some data on it. I just looked at the data. That doesn't look like a good speaker. If you have the money, buy the Kef.
Sorry, RSL. I like the RSL.
No offense, RSL. But Amir gave it his little Panther thing. So it is on kind loan from. I don't understand why he gave this a Happy Panther. It doesn't look like a good speaker at all. Even the directivity is pretty poor. Usually he'll give it a Panther if it's got good directivity. Even if the on-axis response is bad. But this, I don't understand his rationale here at all.
I got an idea for you though, Aaron.
Get the Kef.
I got an idea for so. Thank you again. Hopefully that answers your question. I know we're screwing around here, but
get the Kef.
Yeah, get the Kef.
If you can afford the Kef and you're asking about get the Kef, get the Kef.
See, you know that's a solid response, Because if
bloody
it, was,
cat.
if it was on the fence, then his answer would have been, it depends. But he said, get the kef. So you know how Amir does like the Panther? What if you just have like, your thumbnails, even though you have more subscribers than me, so who am I to tell you?
Yeah, go ahead, tell me.
But I'm just saying, no, if you started doing like, if you had like a preset number of faces, depending on like you're the golfing Panther now.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought
what
about
if you
that.
became the golfing Panther? Like, which faces Aaron going to use this time?
Now, Aaron.
People will say like, oh, this has this face. Oh, it's not going to be good, And I'm just like, oh no, it's just because it's the only thumbnail I had that I haven't used in the past 3 videos. Like I'm just cycling between the same ones. So,
oh man,
I need to go out and do like headshots or something. Look at Chana right now. Look like he's posing for a headshot. Look at you. I just saw you before I said it. Somebody go back and watch the video where I'm talking about this and look what Chana does right before I say it. He goes like this.
Well, you never know who's watching.
It's like if you had really long hair,
the camera, bro.
if you had really long hair, you were like shaking it slowly, like almost like the wind was catching it just right. You're like, I speak it every Yiddish. What are you doing right now, man?
Oh man,
anyway,
moving in slow motion, baby. Moving in slow motion.
I want your phone number now. You're looking pretty handsome.
You already have it, dude. You never text me back. You never call me back, Aaron.
What are you talking about, bro?
You gotta stop. You never call me.
Maybe.
I want to.
You're calling me now. You're calling me now. Oh,
I want to.
Oh. You're not going to answer? Hello. Hey, girl. I see you on the Daily HiFi. Looking pretty fly.
What the fuck?
Bye.
Oh man,
we gotta answer audio questions, man. We can't just be goofing off.
Okay, so I have to clarify something about the conversation about bass traps, because I was here by myself. I had no backup, right?
Oh, did they corner you into a bass trap?
Well, it was a question that popped up, and I don't do room acoustics, right? I answer to the best of my ability, which is my basically I was just saying, you have to have a purpose if you're going to set up these big old bass traps, like something in mind that you're trying to achieve before you don't just go and buy some saying like, oh, I see everybody else has bass traps. Maybe I should put some bass traps too. Right. So, my opinion is more like use other subwoofers, multiple subwoofers as active bass traps. If you have software that can do something like that, then do it. But, some of the comments there were like, isn't this for like decay times, to improve the decay times for bass? And they were talking about like, that a lot of these are just broadband absorbers, not used to target specific frequencies. I should be clear that when I was talking about the use of bass traps, I had an experience where one of my clients, somebody I was doing calibration for, just got some. They just got bass traps from a well-known source of room treatment, right? And I guess they had this certain, the two of them. They had a certain type of bass trap that really targeted some specific frequency. Yeah, it had some sort of membrane. Mm-hmm. And so he got this based on recommendations from this company, and basically it just created almost like a null that wasn't there before.
Oh wow, okay.
Like, why would you put those in? Like, now we just have to try to boost that area that took out. Yeah. So that was my experience. Like, don't just randomly get, room treatment. I would agree. That's it.
I agree wholeheartedly, man. I think a lot of people will buy stuff because somebody else told them that they needed to. Yeah. And you need to understand your room before you start buying treatments.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, Joe, you were here in this room. You said it sounded great, right?
Yeah. I mean, but you don't have big ass bass traps, do you?
No. I mean, I got this closet in the corner here. This closet thing, so I got a bunch, dude, man, my place, I tried to put those silly LED lights in here. Oh god, that was a nightmare on Saturday. Like, one of the panels, like I put it up there, and I put the stuff on the back, put it up there, and I didn't put it up there like it shit fell like right on my head. It just I turned around and it just boom. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
So yeah,
Doesn't sound good.
the whole place is in shambles, and I got those new speakers, which are right there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What does this mean though to reduce the decay times? What does that mean for like for bass?
Isn't that
RT60
RT60
reduce the decay time for bass? Like how does that work?
Creates drier bass, right?
Drier bass.
Yeah, man. It doesn't have
Not
the
as wet.
lag. Doesn't
It's a drier low bottom end. It's not a wet bottom end.
it's exactly. It's not a flappy bottom end. Yep. These are all things that people will say.
So I just have a hard time visualizing it. I'm not saying it's fake or that it's
No, they
not
work. I mean, I
achievable.
used them in my last house in the clipper room because I had the way that the clipper was set up, it was dead center of the room, which is the worst place you can ever be, is the dead center. Because then you're in between every single mode, right? So they all just stack up. Yeah, I mean, they all just stack up. So I had a couple of really strong modal issues that the clipper could kind of see through, if you will, but it caused me to have to do more and more measurements. So anyway, I wound up getting some bass traps. I got some from GIK, and then I got some from ATS Acoustics. And
ATS, they did this guy too.
Yeah, I like ATS Acoustics a lot. The GIK ones were the round ones that were specifically targeted and to absorb a certain frequency range. And I knew what that range was because I had measurements, right? But if you're kind of just buying the stuff blind, then in the example that you just gave, you can actually mess stuff up.
Isn't that what you said with like what's his name? The guy that spends a lot of money and switches the speakers out a lot.
Every audio file.
Yeah, that's a lot of them, man. I can't.
No, your guy. You do like you keep doing remote calibrations for him.
Oh, your customer?
Yeah, no, that's
You talking about Fred?
Don't be putting him on blast, but that is what happened.
No. Yeah, but that's you were telling me, right? He got all this room treatment. And you're like, maybe you should take that bass trap out of there.
It just made it worse. Like I didn't. I'm like, I don't get the point of that. That made all the measurements worse.
Yeah.
It
can happen.
Real quick. This is kind of a side note, but remember how we were talking about those Fosse audio amps that get super hot, the V3s?
Yep.
All right, they get really hot. So I ended up buying one of those AC Infinity like fans that you're supposed to put on like
yeah. Is that the thing you linked in the chat?
Yeah.
A few days ago or last week.
Yeah, affiliate link to it in our chat.
Yeah.
So
good.
So it's like it was not expensive, like $50, right? They have more that are like, 100, $120 with more fans. They're like just larger and they have more fans, right? Mm-hmm. But I ended up buying just the cheapest one because these are some small class D amps that I threw on there, and they actually work. Like it does a great job of cooling them off, but also they're not loud. Right? The fans themselves they're not loud. The thing that surprised me is it has a mode where it'll adjust the fan speed based on the temperature it's sensing. So it's not just on and off. So like it'll ramp it up. Oh, it's a little too hot. Let me ramp it up. And then it'll ramp back down. I'm like, this is kind of cool. I feel like if anybody wants to make their AVR last longer, if they're running, 11 channels or whatever from their AVR, and it's inside of some kind of
cabinet, no airflow,
get one of these, spend $100 and avoid the need to have to get that thing repaired, because your repair is going to be more than $100.
Yeah.
Which one did you get, the T8 or the T9?
What's that?
Did you get the T8 or the T9?
I got the T cheapest one.
The T cheap?
The cheapie. The cheapie.
The cheapie. The cheapie.
Cheapie.
I got the cheapie.
AC Infinity fan.
Infinity and beyond.
The AC cheapie.
These guys make all kinds of fans. Never mind. They have like
so they only make fans?
They have a regular fan. They have a fan that you put in your AC vent.
Yeah. If you did you get the rear firing or the upward firing?
Upward because I placed the amps on top of them.
Okay, you got the upward firing.
It's supposed to suck air out, but
yes. So the what do you call it? Depending on your rack, like if you only have like a front opening and a rear opening, you got to get the AC Infinity that has the exhaust vents going backwards.
Right?
Right?
They have different. They have them going up, back, and what to the front also.
I don't think they may.
I think they might have one for the front too, because if the back is closed,
right.
Side to side.
Michael's got him. He's used the top version. He says.
But yeah, they're $50, $89, 127 is like the most expensive one that I see for like a 17-inch front exhaust one. But dude, if you were to ask Denon and Marantz or any of these guys, what's their how many do they have to fix or how many have issues? Probably pretty high. Because heat kills everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, that I wanted to mention that. That's it. What else I want to mention? Anything else? Somebody was asking about Magic Beans if it works with that microphone. The answer is yes. No. I showed you guys this. Look at this. Share screen. So Summit Hi-Fi, I think these guys are the main distributor for the Tone Winner in North America. Right? Check this out. Look what does it say. Go to their website.
Oh, I saw.
Look, they got a little discount code. I guess you don't have to buy this. You can just use this discount code if you wanted to.
Yeah, you get $50 off.
There you go, $50 off. But yeah, so this thing is pretty good. I'm still using it in the living room. The auto room correction is not good. It is not good, but it gives you all this capability for parametric EQ. So I told the guy Amir over there, 2 A's, Amir with 2 A's.
Different. I was about to say, is this the same Amir?
He said, "Yeah, man, I want to promote that, so it's cool. It's right here on the top, even not even above all this stuff." Right?
Oh,
so I thought that was cool.
Let's solo this thing.
Yeah, there it is.
Magic Beans audio. Optimize your AT300 with Magic Beans audio. Magic Beans audios. Magic Bean audios. Magic. That sounds weird with the 2 S's. Magic Beans audios.
That is weird. Probably my fault.
Yeah.
So anyway, that I wanted to show that. I thought that was super cool. What else? Are any starred comments that we want to get at?
Yeah. Review some ATC speakers, please.
Okay.
Yeah. Fair, easy. Joe, I'll be checking out the Zidu UHD 8000 when I get back from New Jersey based on your review. Look at that, Joe.
Yes. I'm getting good at this whole shilling thing.
I was about to say. Shill it.
I'm getting good, man.
Netflix
I'm like the opposite. I start off the video saying, I don't know anything about this media players.
Yeah. That's anyway. Like me. I started off that unboxing for an e-bike. I'm like, I don't know the first thing about e-bikes, but here we go. And I love how your thumbnail says, I get it. Because you finally figured out like why everybody like buys these things. Because in the chat, you're like, I don't understand.
Why would somebody want this thing? Why would somebody want this? Like, I don't get it. It's $1,500. Like, it can only play the movies you already own. Like I don't know. But then I just realized after a while, like, oh shoot, it makes the picture quality better. The experience is all good. And I guess like it's a matter of if you spent money on an Oppo Blu-ray player, you spent a lot of money on a player. Right. Now this thing is also a nice device, kind of like also gives you that feeling like I have a nice product, except it has all the movies on there.
Yeah.
So I kind of get where they're going. I still was kind of like, why don't they have the certification for Netflix? Why they can totally do it? Why don't they? Any ideas why you don't think they go go for that certification because like let's say for example Dune HD, right?
Dune HD, yeah.
They
It's
have some
essentially
higher end
the same
stuff.
thing.
Yeah, they use a lot of the same processors and stuff. They're lower end stuff. So you sent me the Homatics Dune HD,
Yeah,
$150. Their most basic one. That thing is certified for Netflix, Disney Plus. It can do all the stuff, right? A $30 streaming stick can do it, but a $1,500 one can't. I don't get it.
I mean, I don't like those streaming sticks.
Okay.
At all. But as long as the streaming device runs Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, DTS:X, cool, right? That's where the problem is in the licensing of those things, since they're not necessarily licensing anything from Dolby, right? They don't need to if the movie's already got it, right? They're just
I think they have to get some kind of certification from like Netflix and stuff like that. They have to get something certified. But
they gotta pay they gotta pay somebody. Maybe they don't want to pay somebody.
They don't want to pay somebody. When you spend $1,500, they got to pay somebody.
You should see the one I have. The one that they sent me was like $3,000.
And it can't do those things.
Same thing, essentially. All right, let's get on to Chad Williams' question.
Okay.
New ELAC over the SVS Ultra Bookies. I have someone who will give me $400 for a pair of SVS. Ultra Books are $1,000 a pair.
Okay.
I have the original ELAC B6. Should I upgrade? I think Aaron's the only one that's really checked out these new ELACs.
Yeah, I think I'd hang on to the Ultras. That's the answer I'm going to go with. I'd hang on to the Ultras. Yeah, if you're talking about the new ELAC, like the DB63, the debut 6.3 or whatever it is, I don't think that's going to be as good a speaker as the Ultra speaker is. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you really like those Ultras?
Did I really like them?
I
think I kind of panned them a little bit, but I still think they're going to be better than the ELAC.
I knew ELAC. Okay, how about this though?
I think they were a little bit bright, but maybe not. I can't remember. I think actually it may have been the primes that I was like, eesh.
I think they both
Ultras were all right.
So Ultra versus I mean, an easy one would be the DBR62, but you already have the measurements for the DBR63. Is that what it is? 63?
Yeah, the new DB63. Yeah, that one's kind of it's kind of like, okay, it's $450. It's a good speaker at its price, but it could use some work for sure. And I think the SVS Ultra is a better speaker.
Okay. Are you going to make me pull up measurements from your own website?
Yeah, probably. I think the DBR62 has a little bit of a flat line in the treble.
I'm going to have to go ahead and disagree with you.
Yeah, I think the DBR62 might be a better speaker than the
I'm going to have
Ultra.
to go ahead and say you're wrong.
I'm going to have to go ahead and disagree with you there.
Yeah, and we're going to have you come in on Saturday for those TPS reports.
Sunday.
Okay, so you have
Lumberg
on? No, they're not on here yet.
You dated Lumberg?
He didn't say dated.
Watch out for your cornhole.
Hold on, you don't have the new ELAC measurements on your website?
My site yet. No, I haven't posted them to my site. Actually, I can do that now.
Okay, how about this then? I'm gonna go DBR62. Okay. DBR62. Okay.
DBR62.
Okay, here we go. Gonna have to go ahead and disagree with you there. Let's see.
Go ahead.
Let's see what happens. Okay, so here we go. Aaron's audio corner.
Hey, look at that website. I recognize that website.
He's able to get anechoic measurements from a non-anechoic.
There we go. Like in my garage.
All right, there we go. Nope, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to zoom in on this one. There's the SVS Ultra bookshelf. And then
they both look a little bit. Yeah, see, look at the
a little wonky in both places.
Look at the ER. The early reflections, that blue line.
Yeah.
See
Okay.
how that blue line kind of dips around? Was that 1 to 2K?
1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, then it kind of flattens out in the treble. So natively, that's going to be a bit brighter sounding speaker.
What
And I
about this
think-
one though? Look at the Ultra though too.
Does it? Oh, it does that too. Oh, you just
Yeah. Looks
yeah, it
like
kind of flattens out. What's the estimated in-room response look like
I
between
can't
those? Then
see shit. What the?
Okay, hold on. Let me get this out of. Let's get this off the screen real quick. The Chad's comments, just so you can see more.
okay, Seymour.
See more.
See more butts.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
Let's take a look at estimated in-room response. Okay, SVS. And
all right.
This is the.
Yeah, see, I'd have to almost look at them on top of each other, but I don't know, man. They both kind of do that, don't they?
So okay,
Looks
so
like
how about this though?
Looks like the ELAC has a little bit of a bass bump, which I would personally prefer. But
All
the
right.
ELAC also has some resonance going on too.
So you said though that the DBR 63 is superior to the 62.
Oh,
You say that?
DBR. No, hold on.
fact checking going on.
I don't
right
have the
now.
DB63. No, the DBR 62 should be better than the DB63. It should be.
Okay. Which one? What are we talking about? What's the new ELAC? Forget
That's
these
the
model numbers.
DB63.
What
I don't
are
have
we
that on my
talking about,
site.
guys? What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
So you're saying the new one is not superior to the older?
To the DBR 62. No, because the debut reference 62, I think, is a better speaker.
Oh, because that's a reference, and this one's a 2.0 to 3.0.
Yeah.
Right? That's a 3.0 line. Okay, got it.
Right.
I like this site. You can go here, compare.
Yeah,
Come on.
I don't know.
It would be cool if it worked though.
Does it not
Oh,
work?
there we go. What do we say? SVS. So you guys can do this too. I'm just showing you real quick. You can go here. SVS. Why can't Ultra Bookshelf on one side, and then of course you got to pick Aaron's Audio Corner, right? EAC.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, you got to.
Okay.
Yep.
And it shows the one with or without EQ. We're gonna choose no EQ, and we're gonna compare it to the ELAC EF. See, this is where it starts getting cool, right? Because you have all the measurements, and now you can start comparing. It's getting to a different level now.
Mm-hmm.
DBR 62. Also, Aaron's Audio Corner. It's a little hard to read here to see the comparison between the two.
Yeah.
But let's just say estimated in-room's kind of like maybe a simple one.
Yeah, they both kind of flatline in the treble, don't they? So, but that DBR 62 is going to have a nice little bass thump to it. So subjectively, I think I'd prefer the ELAC just for that.
All right.
But because otherwise they look very similar. I don't know what the radiation pattern is, but they're probably reasonably similar as well.
Well, you could take a look here on Aaron's Audio Corner.
Yeah, you could.
You could look over here, and he happens to do these measurements here. There's the SBS. There is the maybe that's what. So this is the ELAC. This is the SVS.
Mm-hmm.
Still not okay.
Still not convinced.
Noise. Is somebody jumping up and down?
Yes, that is those are my kids.
Oh, I'm like, what is happening here?
Somebody's thumping their mic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get off of that. I would say, looking at these, I would say they look pretty close, but there are other factors that,
Yeah, there are definitely other factors that come into play too. Other things that you might prioritize.
How about the whole just buy them both, try them, return the one you don't like?
SVS has a really good return policy, but you've already got the SVSs, so order the ELACs.
No. Somebody can get them for $400.
No, he's saying he already has the Ultras,
and
he could sell them for $400 to get one of the ELACs.
I totally read that wrong.
I think he was saying he could sell those to buy the new ELAC DB63, which is their more budget oriented. I wouldn't do that. I think I'd keep those SVS.
If it's that close, then might as well just keep them.
Yeah.
So sorry for the noise. My daughter plays soccer and she's practicing because she wants to.
Yeah.
Dad.
All right, Greg McCracken.
Hey.
What up, buddy? I'm new to the home theater, and I bought a large subwoofer as a starter. It had very little output with a single subwoofer cable. The output is exponentially higher with a Y splitter. Is this normal? Yeah, I think so. It's normal that you get that situation. Have you guys done this before?
Oh, you're saying so instead of plugging into just the left LFE, you put left and the right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's kind of normal.
Should be like 6 dB louder when you do that.
Yeah, that happens. You're not tripping. It gets
3
louder.
dB? Yeah.
Adding 3 dB, yeah. Joe, the French Canadian. I wanted to find a way to test room acoustics in audio. Hey, Joe, you're just like Joe.
Hey.
Thinking to bring a small Bluetooth speaker and play a sweep and capture it and then analyze the RT60 decay. Would vendors agree? No, the fuck they wouldn't, dude. They would not do that shit. Here's what you do. You get them to play Tracy Chapman's Fast Car.
Oh,
Boom.
That's what you get them to do. That's a sly way to do it. Joey was there with a freaking little calibrated mic on the end of his phone with magic beans, and he's like, "Look at this crap measurement." You can do that.
Because that one, I guess they found that that's the most similar to pink noise. So they're not going to say, "Hey, can I play some pink noise?" So you just gotta play a song and then let it do like a long average over time and see what the spectral average of that speaker is, and that's it. But he's talking about the RT60 decay.
Yeah, that's different. I know. But
those guys don't want to. I don't think that they want you to double check anything that they're doing.
They don't want you to check shit. Come on,
Joe. They want you to trust your ears.
Yes.
They want you to do this. They want you to do this. They want you
to
measure with your ears. Right? At the end of the day, dude, these rooms suck ass, right? The one room me and Joe were in, it sucked as far as reflection. But we were kind of like proving a point because we had my voice in the media or on the disc, and my voice was going around the room, so that you're already accustomed to the reverb or the delay or whatever you want to call it. And it was mimicking my voice, and so when I talk normally, you can hear like it's all the same. But all they need to do is like take like a few of these panels, and set them up around the room, and it'd be better.
Yeah.
But
next time we set up, we do another demo. I want to bring a bunch of those. Yeah, not playing around.
We should have ATS send some. For that, because I don't want to take these things off.
No, not yours. We'll have somebody send them, but it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. If you saw the bloopers section of my Andrew Jones video from Axpona, it's hilarious because right as I started the interview, I had two cameras going. I'm like, all right, here's sync. And you can see his eyes go like this, and you see me going like, I'm like, what the? And he's like, just show off the flutter echo, why don't you? So that's in the bloopers section. And I was like, what are we gonna do? He's like, no, but so he had all of the acoustic panels to where you were seated, but uppers where it wasn't like really treated, so to speak. So I was like, okay, Andrew, okay, not bad. But anyway, to answer your question, Joe.
Yeah,
vendors won't do that.
So real quick, Aaron, I know it's later over there for you. Yes. So let's go to some of the starred comments here that would pertain to you. I see some specifically.
Which one?
So
that
one. So
Rich,
he asked opinion Q150 versus ELAC 3.0.
I don't know, man. I might.
Going, Kev.
I was kind of starting to lean toward the ELAC, but I really don't know.
That's not true.
It's just the ELAC has a weird thing in the treble that I'm kind of like, ugh. And if it weren't for that, I'd be much happier with it. But think I might lean towards the ELAC because if I recall, the KEF is a little bit more raggedy. I mean, it's still a good speaker, especially at their sale price of like $300 a pair. You know, like if you're on a budget, that's probably one of the easiest recommendations I can make. But if you're looking at the DB63, which is now on my website, I just uploaded it.
That was fast.
Yeah. Well, I had it ready to go. I just forgot to kick it over.
ELAC, which one? ELAC
DB63.
63.
Damn it! It's not on the Spinorama site, so I can't compare it yet.
No, you can't do that.
Huh?
I'm tired of him taking all my stuff and becoming rich off of my data.
He's getting
taking all your stuff.
Nobody. I'm just kidding.
Oh man, Pierre's getting rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting
Yeah.
rich.
Pierre
It's
Le
probably
Pew?
only me. It's only me
Yeah.
browsing his site right now. I'm the only one who goes on there.
Every once in a while, I do. If I'm curious about something.
Joe the French Canadian says, haha, I plan to wait until nobody's in the room and do it illegally.
Oh, that's one way to go about it.
You know what? You might be able to convince these guys to do that stuff after hours.
Maybe.
After hours is when like, you know, they get loose, they start drinking. You know what happened at Axpona? They had those 18-inch, the brand new 18-inch sealed Perlison subwoofers right in the Perlison room, and I went in there after hours with Zach and Kellen.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, screw this shit. I just went to the back, unplugged the speakers, the tops, because the tops were gonna blow long before we get to the subs, and I just cranked the back of the subs, and I hit that song, the Chemical Brothers one. Oh, dude, we had like 3 rooms shaking. It was just, it was insane. It was so awesome, and like nobody knows until now.
Yeah.
So, there you go. So that's what I would suggest, Joe. Try to do it after hours.
You know, if you really want to be slick, if you really are serious about doing it, the best way is to somehow record with a calibrated mic, right? Somehow record, and you're not going to analyze it then and there. You take it home, and then you take that snippet that you recorded with a calibrated mic, and you import that into REW or something, and you analyze it later if you really wanted to do it.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
You know,
that could work.
I've thought about that. What else? What else we got? We have another one that's for you here, Byron.
Oh really?
It's for you.
Oh yeah, that was easy. I saw it. No, well, I heard them. I wouldn't say a proper room. I don't know. So to me, a proper room is like a real living space and not
a showroom.
Not a showroom that has no walls. That's
we
the
saw
one.
those white ones.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't think I got to hear them. Did we? I don't think we listened to them. Did we?
Okay. Is that the big one or the?
Yeah.
The
well, there's
like 3
small
steps.
One. Yeah. There's a medium and a large. So he's asking about the medium and the large one. Okay. We didn't get to hear those.
Yeah, we didn't hear those.
Yeah. No, we didn't hear those.
But it was also, they have a giant ass room too.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And when you say proper room, like I don't know, that could mean something different than what I would call, because I'm just a plebe. I have a regular living room. Some of these guys have huge spaces.
Yep.
What? I don't even want to know.
Let's
go back to eating something.
I don't, dude. The sauce on this is amazing.
Chano's always eating. You're so unprofessional, right, dude? I don't know if you've been paying attention, but pretty much everything we've been saying is unprofessional, right down to my advice about buying all your audio gear on a credit card and never paying it off.
And never paying it off? That's your advice?
That's my advice. I wouldn't take it. It's terrible advice, but it's advice nonetheless. It doesn't stop. Listen, there are plenty of other audio reviewers giving the worst advice ever. That's why I don't watch them anymore. So what's to stop me from giving terrible advice to?
Nothing, really.
Yeah. So don't wait until you're 60 and retired to spend all your money on high-end gear, and then you have no hearing or you die like the next month. Go ahead, put it on a credit card, and don't worry about it. It's all good, man.
All right, hold on. You know I got to do it because this is the type of stuff I do. Your
Are we gonna
window
overlay graphs again? Is that what's
overlay
happening?
graphs. How'd you know? You asked, right? Rich, you asked. Here's the
I called it.
Q115.
I thought he was going to pull up like APRs or something, or APYs for or no APRs for
Credit card interest
cards. I
rates.
really did.
Okay, ELAC.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm looking at directivity. I'm looking at these the blue line.
Yeah.
Right. So directivity, that is the ELAC, and this is the Q150.
The Kef looks better in the mid range. Has a little bit of a little.
So do a little in between. It's funny because they have opposite reactions here.
Yeah.
Right. So what the way I read this is the Kef.
Are we flipping it upside down, Joe?
Once you that's what I like. If you equalize this to flat, this area is gonna sound like bright. And what we found is like, I mean, it's pretty well known. A peak is easier to notice than a dip.
Right.
All right. So that's gonna sound too bright, or there's gonna be too much energy there, and that might be like, I don't like that. Whereas the other one would be kind of the opposite. All right.
Yeah.
If you equalize the on axis to flat, then it's going to sound like a dip. There's going to be a dip there, but that's less noticeable than this. So I get where you're coming from, where you're like, that's a tough one. And then, estimated in-room response. This one is the, I guess I should do it this way. Keep the same thing going. So that is the ELAC, and that is the Kef.
Yeah.
And then if I just do overlay, which one do you like better? Like when you go to get your eyes checked. A?
So it's like the Kef above like what 7-8K. I don't like that bump right there, but then the ELAC has a weird dip around like 5 or 6K where where that tweeter falls off.
They're like opposites of each other.
Yeah, man. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of tough. I'm like,
seriously, like where one's a dip, the other one's a peak.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on?
Scrap them both and go with a different speaker.
Yes, I think I like that idea. Somebody said get the Polk XT20s. I haven't heard the Kef, so I can't say.
I like the Kef because of the coax, so it has wider vertical. So if that's important to you, you know, like especially for home theater or multi-rows or something like that, then it makes more sense.
Yeah, it'll be equally bad here vertically as also.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, what else? Any other ones? I think we got through all the audio ones for Aaron.
Yeah. I like this one here. After watching Joe's review on the Zidu, I wanted it. After watching Chana's videos on ripping discs, I decided to just put my disc in my Oppo and watch them.
Yeah, reasonable.
Dude, it's a pain in the ass, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's not
like an hour to rip one, and you're like, that's one. And these people have collections of hundreds, thousands. I'm like, that's a lot of time that you just spent.
I mean, like, look, for me, it's like I have a computer, I have my PC tower downstairs doing nothing. So I'd just be like, oh, I'll rip one, and then like I'll come back in like 2 hours, or it's not like I'm timed. I'm like, oh, I walk back into the room. I'm like, oh yeah, oh, it's done. Great. Here's the next one. So it's not like I like sat there and it's taking up my one computer, right?
Yeah. So, it's like when you do laundry. You throw it in there, and then when it's done, it beeps and you're done.
Yeah, that's it.
Not that I don't do laundry myself.
You know, I was about to say, it's like when you do laundry, I'm like,
something like that. Like a microwave. Okay. So yeah, I do like that thing, and I will mention it if you're interested next time. I do want to talk about the VS10 engine that I've been talking to all these guys in the after show chat about the VS10 engine and how it makes everything look better, and go into more detail about how to make that work using an HD Fury or like a $29, I don't even know how to say this, EZCoo device. So if you have a projector that can support it, you can buy this little device and kind of trick everything into thinking that it's in Dolby Vision. So maybe next time. We'll do that next time. We're already over.
Yeah, we're over. Overtime. Okay. Yeah. Mosin asks or says, I am using Spears & Munsell Ultra HD. The contrast and black levels are noticeably better with my settings, but in some movies and TV shows, the picture feels too dark. What is the solution?
The
Hold on. Come here. You turn up the brightness.
Or is it the contrast?
One of the two. You're always gonna run into movies and shows that are too dark. What famous, you guys know, which HBO show famously had a scene that was mastered at -1 nit?
What? Is that true?
Yeah.
How's that even? Is that a thing? How do you do that?
Yeah, like negative nits. Yeah.
Okay.
Which show? Which show? Come on.
Byron
Game
B.
of Thrones.
Oh.
I just saw
Aaron,
people in the chat saying it. No, I saw people in the chat saying it, so I lied.
It's actually not Game of Thrones, but it's very close. It is House of the Dragon. They're walking on the beach. The main girl and her like uncle / husband. Yeah, and you could barely see them, man. It's pretty wild. So
Rich asked about the ELAC 3.0, but I showed the DB63. I owe you one, so I'll show you in the after show if you really care. Sorry about that.
Each scene in House of the Dragon. Yeah. House of Dragon, there's a specific scene when they're like walking on the beach and you could barely see them. It's I forget which episode it is. I'll have to look it up, but yeah, that's famously mastered at like negative nit. So what is that?
It's the HD
Your
Fury.
Alone?
They sent me the HD Fury. Or not the new one, but the less expensive Arcana 2. They have a more expensive one. These guys, they keep wanting me to talk about this. They want me to show this out for them. Did you guys get one of these?
No, I'm not that cool.
Shauna, you didn't get one of these?
No, they want to send me one. Am I gonna have to like?
I thought it was just gonna be
turn into a coffee table. Does it turn into a coffee table?
Yeah,
because that's
hold on, isn't that the Kramer thing? Yeah, that's from Seinfeld.
Yes,
it's like I've heard of that somewhere.
Yes, my guy, hell yeah! I get all the references. Yes.
So yeah, Richard Charshan. I guess he made this book, and it's pretty cool. Just showing a bunch of home theaters, but what I thought was kind of cool was they go into a little bit of theory. You know, let's see. I think this is the guy. They're like they were asking me if I wanted to have them on. I'm like, I don't know if we can just talk about just this the whole time. You know, it's just a cool. If you're into home theater stuff, this is pretty cool. Let me see. There he is with his lady right there.
What is this? This is a home theater book with some random guy in there?
A random guy.
A random guy.
The guy who wrote the book. Is that all I need to have people look at pictures of me and my lady? It's just to put out a book about
this is kind of cool, right?
Forks.
If you're expecting to just have a thing about cool home theaters that you can't afford, look at this.
Hey,
hold on, let's solo it.
That looks familiar.
Why acoustics matter?
Why acoustics matter. Look at all those reflections.
So yeah, who did that? Who did those graphics? I think it was Dennis Berger.
Oh, really?
Berger. I think he did those. So that's pretty cool. He has a little shout out on here. So yeah, cool book. I don't know where you get it, but it says $90 US, 125 Canadian.
Damn.
Anyway, so there you go. There's your free plug. That's all I can do. But yeah, next time we'll talk about more HD Fury, how to make your projector look a little bit better without spending a ton of money.
Yep.
But that's it, man. Anything else? Anything else going on with you guys?
Are there wedges for in-ceiling speakers? I don't know what that means. Is that just to give it more angle?
Yeah, I don't know what that means either. Are there wedge-shaped speakers? Yes.
Yeah, I
Are
didn't
there
understand. I
wedges?
saw that one earlier. I didn't understand the question. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it. Should we get going?
Yeah. Sure. Let's see here. Hold on a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to conclude our episode for tonight. 205. If you want to check out the after show, make sure to join up the crew, crew.dailyhifi.com. And if you want to support the channel in a different way, you can pick up some merch, get yourself a hat. Did the coolers arrive yet, Joe? Are we selling coolers? Yeah, that's a Daily Hi-Fi. No, you just slapped the Daily Hi-Fi sticker on your cooler.
Oh yeah,
it just happened to be in the same color scheme. Anyway, go to shop.dailyhifi.com to pick up all your Daily Hi-Fi merch. And if you don't want to watch me eat on camera and you want to listen to the podcast instead, go to anchor.fm/Daily Hi-Fi. Although I did turn my back and I did turn my camera off a couple times. Man, this Factor meal is so delicious. Anyway.
Will you plug your own disc, please? We have Electron Ash saying, the SAC Discord, the place where all the cool people hang out.
Make sure to get the most out of your Dolby Atmos home theater by purchasing the spatial audio calibration toolkit made by these two guys on the top of the screen here. And Aaron supported us. So
yeah, no, I didn't. I had nothing to do. I mean, I bought it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You bought it. You didn't even ask. You're like, yo, just send me that shit. And if you guys wanted to pick yours up, go to spatialcd.com. We don't even have that on here. Spatialcd.com to pick up yours today while supplies last. Hey, that's a good one. There it is. Look, Aaron, it's on his forehead.
Well, take care, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out, and see you folks in the after show.
That's right. On behalf of myself, Aaron, and Joe, we'll see you next week.
See y'all.
You guys.